Nittany, 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 Nittany! Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Nittany Draws. I'm Nittany, and I'm going to be doing a drawing challenge today, which I found from Drawing-with-Waffles. This is the image that I'm going to be drawing. It is a screen capture from the movie Practical Magic, and it is my very favorite movie of all time. So, let's get started. You can see my new organizational method for my Copics there in the background. I finally got them out of this giant basket and organized by color, which is awesome. And you can see I printed out the image of this screen capture in black and white instead of in color, which helps me to figure out what lines are going to be important, which parts of the image are going to pop, and then I don't get all caught up in the different colors because I don't have a huge Copic collection yet, and I wanted to be able to still do this without getting caught up in whether or not I have the exact right color for the job. So I drew the picture first in pencil, and I always use a mechanical pencil. I know this is probably super bad because mechanical pencils leave a groove in the picture, but I like the mechanical pencils because I'm lazy and don't want to have to sharpen it. So I'm drawing it out a little bit here, and I'm using another piece of paper behind it in order to keep it from getting all grooved out, because that helps me to keep from pushing down too hard. And I was having some trouble getting this book to lay properly. The book is propped up against something in the picture, but I can't tell what it's propped up by. So I was having a hard time getting the angles just right and making it so that it looks like a 3D piece of the puzzle rather than just being a flat thing. And I've just started inking here. The inking pen that I'm using here is a different inking pen than I normally use. This is a Copic multiliner pen with a brush tip. I've never used this before this image, and I really love it. I made so many posts after I got this. It was amazing. The thing has a brush tip, so you get a huge difference in line weight. You can go from a teeny tiny little stroke all the way up to a huge bold stroke without having to change pens. Plus, it's Copic safe. So if you put a Copic marker over the top of it, it's not gonna bleed. It doesn't get blurred. It's amazing. And I did have that issue a lot of times with the microns, where if I didn't give it enough time to cure in between uses, the micron pen would start to bleed and smear when I put the Copic coloring over the top of it. And this multiliner is to die for. Highly recommend it. I get all of mine from Otaku Fuel on eBay. They didn't pay me to say this, but that's just where I get them. It's cheaper to get them through them than to go through the Copic store, and it's cheaper than going to Joann's, even with a coupon. So I closed up a little bit on it now so you can see more of the detail work while I'm working, and you can see me working the different line weights with this pen, which, oh god, this pen is amazing. And then I did have one little spot on here that's smeared, which is down in the corner of one of those jars. You can kind of see it here, the jar that I'm working on right now, the one that's green. I did have a little smear there, but I think I covered it up pretty well. Making decisions for the coloring in this was really difficult, mostly because I don't have all of the colors that were required for this picture. So I had to get a little bit creative and change some things around. Like in the image, the jars were both a beigey color, and I had to make them a bright green and a cobalt blue in order to have some kind of color introduced into the image. And also because I don't have very many colors in the E line. The only colors I have in the E line is the dark brown, the light brown, and the peachy skin tone. So I had to get a little creative. Same with the cookies. The cookies are the same color as her hair, but I blended them with yellow in order to make it look like it's a different color. Also, these cookies I'm coloring right now, the raspberry ones, I layered that with multiple different colors in order to give that a different color from her skin tone as well. I was trying to make that look like marble, but I'm not sure I really succeeded at that. So now I'm coloring the tablecloth, and in the reference picture, the tablecloth is white, but at this point I knew that I wasn't going to be doing a full background on this. I also knew that her wings were supposed to be white, although they are a light gray, they're still supposed to be white. And then the background is white, plus the foreground would be white if I left it white. So I changed the color for the tablecloth to help everything to pop a little bit more. Incidentally, I also think that this tree that I just drew inside her book is the best tree I've ever drawn. This is that pretty blue jar that I decided to throw in there instead of keeping it the beige color. It's the same color as a jar that I have in my kitchen, and I love it. So it's gonna come and join us here. I'm adding a little bit of shading, and we're just about done here. Here is the finished image. I took a nice little picture with some things I had laying around that I thought would be perfect. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you loved what you saw, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Leave a comment on what you'd like to see next, and I will see you in the next video.